What up, what up? Fantasy Football Hustler back at you. I'm bringing you the Week 12 wide receiver matchups. I'm bringing you all my starts and sits. So if you're on YouTube right now, make sure you subscribe. If you're not subscribed yet, hit the like button. Just get it out of the way. Trust me, it's going to be the best thing that you ever do. And if you're watching this somewhere else like Facebook or Instagram or wherever, go to YouTube. Go search Fantasy Football Hustler and go subscribe. Help me get to that 1,000, guys. I am almost there. And if you want to get in, because the giveaway is happening when I get to 1,000, the signed Jonnu Smith mini helmet giveaway brought to you by our friends over at Modern Memorabilia. You want to get down on this. The giveaway is happening as soon as I reach 1,000. That should be happening any day now. So the way you get those extra entries in right now is go sign up on my website, fantasyfootballhustler.com. You sign up on the $1 tier, you get one entry. There's a lot of other tiers, and the higher the tier, the more entries you get. You want to be like my man Jared, who bossed up and went for the $50 tier just to get all those extra entries. So he has definitely got the most entries in the pot right now. So make sure you go get in on it right now, fantasyfootballhustler.com. We got the Discord gang going, so you got to get in the Epic tier to be on the Discord chat. That's the $5 tier. You want to get in on it. The Superstar tier, that's where you really want to be at. I'm going to be inviting people onto the show over the next coming weeks, and anyone who's a Superstar tier or higher is going to be invited on the show. I got my Sunday watch party for all the Superstar or higher tiers. So yeah, you guys really want to get in on this, fantasyfootballhustler.com. It's linked to my Patreon account. Go hit it up, guys. Support me. I'm a growing small business. This is the only way that I'm getting paid right now. So yeah, support this local, support this small business, and trust me, I am interacting with all my supporters like no other. So go hit it up, guys. fantasyfootballhustler.com. Let's get into all these matchups. We got no teams on bye because of Turkey Day. So yeah, let's just get into it. The first Turkey Bowl on the slate here. So the first game is the Texans at the Lions. I'm expecting big things out of the Texans, not too much out of the Lions. I mean, Will Fuller, Brandon Cooks, you're firing those guys up like 100%. Those guys need to be in your lineup. Did you see what Carolina did to the Lions last week? Like, yeah, fire those guys up. Randall Cobb, he's questionable. I think he's going to be going on IR. He's getting a second opinion from a doctor, but I think he might be going on IR. So Kiki QT, I mean, he gets bumped up now to the number 3 wide receiver there. Really not liking him. He's a sit either way. Kenny Golladay, we don't know if he's going to play just yet. I know he was not that close last week, so I don't know. I mean, if he plays, he starts, I'm going to play him. I mean, the Texans, even though he's going to be matched up with Bradley Roby, I'm sure he's still going to do his thing. But yeah, if he doesn't play, that just doesn't mean good things. And I'm kind of leaning towards him not playing right now. So guys like Marvin Jones Jr., if he's covered by Bradley Roby, if Golladay is not playing, it's going to be a horrible, horrible game for him. Marvin Hall, I'm sitting too. I'm just not expecting big things from the Lions in this game. All right, second Turkey Bowl game is Washington at the Cowboys. I really think Washington's going to end up running away with this one. I'm starting Terry McLaurin. You got to get him in there. And then I'm starting Amari Cooper. I mean, as long as Andy Dalton's there, I feel like his floor is going to be safe. I'm sitting everybody else, though. I mean, Cam Sims, I mean, if I'm really deep diving, I mean, in a super, super deep league, I think he's the other guy from Washington over Steve Sims and Isaiah Wright. I just think he's the guy who does a little bit better. CD Lamb, I mean, if you're deep diving, I mean, I do think CD Lamb is going to finish off in that wide receiver 3, maybe flex consideration. So he's someone who I'm nervous about starting, but he's someone, if I'm really, really deep diving in a deep league, I would consider throwing in there. Michael Gallup, just completely out on Michael Gallup. You can't guess when he's going to do it. So yeah, just do yourself a favor, leave him on the bench, really just get rid of him. All right, about the Thursday night game, Ravens at the Steelers. So I think you're starting Deontay Johnson. He's been super safe. And then Chase Claypool, he has been super, super safe. So I'm getting both of them in my lineup. Now, on the flip side of the coin, Marquise Brown, Dez Bryant, Willie Snead. I am not playing any one of these guys. The Ravens, they're just super fluky with their play calling, and you cannot play one of their wide receivers like at all. You just can't do it. You cannot risk it. And Dez Bryant, they sent him back down to the practice squad, and he was like the best wide receiver that they had. So yeah, I'm just super out on the Baltimore wide receivers. And Juju Smith-Schuster, he's going to have the toughest matchup out of everybody. Coach already said it seems like he's going to play, but if he plays, he's going to be covered by Marlon Humphrey, and it's just going to be tough sledding for him all game. Like, plus, I believe it's a knee injury. Sorry if I'm wrong on that, but yeah, it's going to be a tough game for Juju Smith-Schuster either way. So Deontay Johnson, Chase Claypool, I mean, those are the guys who I would start. Let's get into those Sunday games. Raiders at the Falcons. Nelson Aguilar, if there was ever a game to roll him out there, it is going to be versus the Falcons. So I think you can start him with confidence this week. Calvin Ridley, also a good start for me, someone I'm getting in the lineup for sure. Now, Hunter Renfrow, if you're deep diving, maybe you can throw him in there. I have him as a sit, but if you're playing in a really, really deep league, I mean, the matchup is prime with the Falcons. Hunter Renfrow just doesn't get enough volume to get me excited, especially with no teams on bye this week. Now, Julio Jones, I have him down as a sit. He's a game time decision. I don't think he's going to play this week. I just really don't. Russell Gage, if you're really, really deep diving, like maybe I could say get him into the lineup, but every time that someone's been out and you really think that Russell Gage is going to step it up, he just doesn't. So I know he did really decent, this last week, but I'm not betting on him repeating that performance. Next game, Chargers at the Bills. I hope this is a high-scoring affair. I mean, it is. The writing is on the wall that this is going to be a high-scoring affair. I mean, Keenan Allen, got to throw him out there. I know he's going to be covered by Tre'Davious White. So, I mean, that's going to be a really tough matchup. But the volume that Keenan Allen gets, I just feel is safe either way. Mike Williams, he's not going to be covered by Tre'Davious White. I think this is another one of those games where they're going to be throwing a lot. And I think Mike Williams is definitely in flex contention. And for the Bills, got to put Stephon Diggs out there. John Brown, we got to monitor the practice reports, but I think he's a flex consideration this week just because teams, they've been able to score on the Chargers. They've been able to move the ball on the Chargers. So he's someone that I will throw into flex consideration for sure. And Cole Beasley, I mean, if John Brown is playing, Cole Beasley just doesn't have his floor is just very low. He doesn't have a ceiling. So I'm just not getting him out there. Giants at the Bengals. This one is going to be ugly. So Sterling Shepard, I will consider starting. Darius Slayton, I think you can get him out there too. Golden Tate, he's someone that I'm sitting, just hasn't been getting the volume. At least this past week, 2 weeks ago, Darius Slayton, at least he did show that he can get a little bit of volume. Now for the Bengals, I think the only one that I would be willing to play is Tyler Boyd, and that's because of just the way that they use him. A lot of easy stuff right across the middle. It's like he runs a lot of tight end routes because they really don't get the tight end involved. But Tyler Boyd, that would be the guy out of all three guys that I'd be willing to play. T. Higgins, depending on who you have, I mean, maybe he's going to be a decent flex play, but I'm just not banking on it. I think he's a wide receiver 3 at best. I just want to see how they get him involved with Matt Flynn. I mean, he had a really good connection with Joe Burrow. Matt Flynn ain't Joe Burrow, so I want to see it for at least one game. I'm not dropping him. I know a lot of people are thinking about going out and dropping him. I would just wait for one game, let's see what happens, and then we'll reassess. AJ Green, I feel like his number is going to get called a lot, and he may get into the end zone, but I don't see him getting the volume to where I would want to bank on playing him this week. I mean, I just really don't. Let's not forget that the Giants do have 2 stud cornerbacks in Logan Ryan and James Bradbury. So that's another reason why I don't really like T. Higgins and AJ Green, because those are the guys on the side that are being covered by Bradbury and Logan Ryan. So Tyler Boyd, he's getting everything over the middle. So I just think the matchups are going to be better for him. Titans at the Colts. So they played each other 2 weeks ago. I'm curious to see if this is a little bit of a higher scoring game. I'm going to say AJ Brown, just get him in there. Corey Davis, got to get him in there. Now that they've got some tape, on the other team, maybe they figure it out a little bit. Maybe it's a little bit more high scoring than it was last time. Michael Pittman Jr., he's someone who I just feel like you got to lock and load him. Like, he didn't have the best game this past week, but he did get into the end zone. And Phillip Rivers is just going to keep looking for him. So, yeah, he's someone that you got to get into your lineup. T.Y. Hilton has no rapport with Phillip Rivers. Zach Pascal, he's someone that I'm not super excited about, throwing into the lineup. I'm just not going to do it. But I think this is going to be a really, really big Michael Pittman Jr. game. Panthers at the Vikings. So I think you can throw out everybody in this game. I'm leaning on DJ Moore. I'm leaning on Robbie Anderson. Curtis Samuel, flex play. I think you can roll him out there as well. Adam Thielen just got added to the COVID reserve list. Luckily, his game is on Sunday, so he's still going to have time to where all he has to do is get the 2 negative tests, and then he's good to go. but makes me a little bit nervous as of right now. Justin Jefferson, someone that you got to get out there. Didn't have the volume last week, but it didn't matter because they're still looking for him in the right way with those deep shots and they're connecting with them. So, yeah, I just think Justin Jefferson, compared to a lot of other question marks out there, I think that you definitely got to get him in your lineup this week. Next game here, Cardinals at the Patriots. So, two tough secondaries. This game is going to be a little bit tough. DeAndre Hopkins, you're not sitting him. I don't give a shit. You're going to play him. I know he's been sucking, but this is just a game where you got to play him in. I mean, Brandon Cooks did decent last week. Will Fuller did decent last week. So either way, I don't think Stephon Gilmore is 100%. So either way, you got to play DeAndre Hopkins. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Damiere Byrd, he's the only one that I think you can play from the Patriots. Now, the reason why Jacoby Myers, N'Keal Harry, I mean, flex plays, for me, depending on how far you're deep diving. But I just feel like Patrick Peterson is going to be covering Jacoby Myers for this game and shadowing him. And so I feel like either way, Cam's not going to force it. He's not that accurate of a QB to where he's going to be forcing it like that. So I really think that Damiere Byrd, he's going to be the guy who gets the softer coverage. So that's why I'd be starting him. Going back to Arizona, Christian Kirk, I'm putting him on the bench. I mean, I just don't like him this game. Larry Fitzgerald, he's someone that I might consider flexing this week. Not super excited about getting him in there, but I don't know. I just don't feel like it's going to be a Christian Kirk game this week. And Jacoby Myers, N'Keal Harry, I'm sitting those guys down. Maybe a flex play if you're kind of desperate. Jacoby Myers, I don't know if he's going to get the volume now that he's going to be covered by Patrick Peterson in this game. Dolphins at the Jets. This game is going to be a shit show. I can already feel it. Devontae Parker, Jakeem Grant, willing to start both those guys. Devontae Parker, I think he's got wide receiver 1 upside this week. And but I'm not playing anybody for the Jets. I'm not playing Crowder, not playing Mims, not playing Brashad Perriman. Just not going to do it. I don't know if it's going to be Joe Flacco or Sam Darnold, but either way, I'm just not rolling out anybody against Dolphins. Browns at the Jaguars, another game that I'm not too excited about. So I think you can start Jarvis Landry in this game. Hopefully the volume is safe. I mean, that's the only thing that we can really bank on is they can't run the ball every single play. And the Jaguars, I mean, they only have CJ Henderson out there, and who knows if he's going to be shadowing Jarvis Landry or what. But I think Landry, this is one of the games where I feel a little bit safer about playing him. DJ Chark in a flex role, I would be considering getting him out there. Got a lot of targets, just weren't the best targets. Hopefully that changes. Hopefully that changes this week, but I think that DJ Chark, safe flex play this week, depending on who you got on your squad. I'm sitting Rashard Higgins. He just hasn't been getting the volume to where I'm excited to play him at all. And then I'm sitting Keelan Cole and I'm sitting Chris Conley. With the backup QB, they're just not getting a bunch of volume. I mean, at least DJ Chark, he had like 8 or 9 targets last week. So at least, they're doing their best to throw it to him, even though it wasn't the best catchable balls. Let's get into those Sunday late games. Now we got the Saints at the Broncos. Got to start Michael Thomas. I mean, even last week with Taysom Hill, it doesn't matter. They're just going to call his number a lot. And I'm sitting Emmanuel Sanders. I'm sitting Traquan Smith. They're not going to be able to support anybody other than Michael Thomas unless it's like some fluky stuff, going down. Now, for the Broncos, I think Tim Patrick is the only one that you can play here. Jerry Jeudy, KJ Hamler, those guys are going to have the tougher matchups going up against Marshawn Lattimore. If he comes back, if Marshawn Lattimore doesn't come back this week, then I am a little bit more inclined to, make Jerry Jeudy a start instead of just a flex consideration. But Tim Patrick, I don't think he's going to be covered by Marshawn Lattimore or Janoris Jenkins. He's been pretty solid, and he's been the guy who's been sneaking through. So Tim Patrick is that sneaky flex play this week. Jerry Jeudy, sitting him, maybe in a flex, just depending on how desperate I am. Then KJ Hamler, same thing. I'm sitting him down. Now, if Marshawn Lattimore doesn't play, that makes me change a little bit towards Jerry Jeudy. But as of right now, I'm just going to assume that he's coming back this week. 49ers at the Rams, next game to talk about here. I'm not excited about this game. If you remember when they played each other a handful of weeks ago, it was just an ugly, low-scoring game. Not a lot of offense at all, just total defensive battle. So this week, Robert Woods, Cooper Kupp, I'm going to say fire them up. They did not do the best last time that they played. So hopefully it's just a little bit more volume, that they can get them this week, because every time that they've had the volume, they've been doing great. And the running game has just sucked for the Rams. They have not been able to get it going. So hopefully it's the same kind of thing, there, and they just keep force feeding those guys. Now, Brandon Ayuk, he's the only one from San Fran who I think that you can play. I'm more inclined to play Ayuk if Debo is active, because then Debo is going to be getting the Ramsey, coverage, at least a percentage of the game, even if it's not the whole game. If Debo doesn't play, that means that Jalen Ramsey is probably going to be on Ayuk, and that's probably going to limit him altogether. And then I would, completely downgrade Ayuk. But yeah, I'm not excited about starting anybody for San Francisco in this game. And Josh Reynolds, just someone to throw on there just in case you're deep diving. I'm not too excited about starting him either. I mean, maybe in a really, really deep league. Chiefs at the Bucks, and I think this is going to be a super, super high-scoring game. I mean, Tyreek Hill, you're starting. I mean, hands down. For the other wide receivers on KC, I mean, Sammy Watkins, I think he might be worth a flex if he plays, obviously. Mecole Hardman, Demarcus Robinson, they've just been really fluky, so I'm just not taking the chance on either one of those guys this week. And for Tampa Bay, you're rolling out all three. You're rolling out Chris Godwin, you're rolling out Mike Evans, and Antonio Brown. At worst, these guys are flex plays. They were all top 30 wide receivers this week, all between 20 and 30, somewhere. But either way, they're all wide receiver twos with a potential wide receiver one upside, flex plays at worst. So yeah, you're getting them all in there. Sunday Night Football, Bears at the Packers. Allen Robinson, you got to start him. But Mitchell Trubisky is more than likely going to be the starter, so I'm pumping the brakes on my expectations for sure. And then Devontae Adams, of course, you're playing him. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Darnell Mooney, Anthony Miller, you're sitting both of them, especially with Mitch Trubisky coming back, and MVS and Alan Lazard. I don't want to play them this week, not versus the Bears, so I'm just going to sit them down. And the Monday night game, Seahawks at the Eagles, you're starting Tyler Lockett, you're starting DK Metcalf. I mean, that is... Who actually sits those guys? You're not going to sit them, okay? Jalen Reagor, he's the only one from the Eagles that I would potentially get in here as a flex. I just feel like the volume is safe. Travis Fulgham, he's fallen off. Alshon Jeffrey, he hasn't gotten anything since he came back. So if I was going to play anybody, it'd be Jalen Reagor. Really trying to avoid it if I can. I mean, I think he's, wide receiver 3, flex play, probably not a wide receiver 2. So got to pump the brakes a little bit on the expectations. It's really if you're deep diving that I'd be playing Reagor, and that's probably about it. Alrighty, guys, thanks for joining me. That's my wide receiver video. Don't forget, I got the running back video out, the tight end video out, the QB video out. Then I got my defensive streamers out. So go hit all those up. Don't forget, if you're on YouTube, subscribe if you have not already. Hit the like button. If you're not on YouTube right now, go hit it up. Fantasy Football Hustler. Go follow me on every podcast platform that you use, Fantasy Football Hustler. Follow me everywhere on social media at FF Hustler 420. And then do not forget, it is your last chance to get some entries in to the signed Jonnu Smith mini helmet giveaway brought to you by our homies at Modern Memorabilia. It's going to be happening this week. I don't know if it's going to be on my Wednesday live stream, Friday, or Saturday, but it is happening this week, guys. So go get in on it right now. FantasyFootballHustler.com. You can sign up for as little as $1, but you want to get into higher tiers like the Epic tier or the Superstar tier because you want to at least be in the Discord gang, and that's the Epic tier. So go hit it up, guys. I'll see you next video. Peace out.
You ready, Jerry?
I'm ready.
Just want to make sure you're ready, brother. Show me the money.
Oh, you didn't know?
Every day I'm hustling, every day I'm hustling, every day I'm hustling.
You put my shoes on, you wouldn't last a mile.
Summertime, wintertime, I'm on the grind. I got the ring, I'm the champ, I'm the genie of the lamp.
This is the gift I was given, so I just live by my hustle.
It's all about the Benjamins, baby.
Yeah.
It's all about the Benjamins, baby.
Yeah.
It's all about the Benjamins, baby.
Yeah.
VIP me put in my pocket, it don't make sense, but don't make a profit. So I hustle, ladies and homies, make money, 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 money.
Hold out here for a pill. When he tryna get this money for the real.
I want to find the things in my life, so I hustle.
It ain't over for me. No, it ain't over for me.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
Show me the money!
Okay, let's go smoke that joint.